Hello everyone, it's Kim Hong here. Happy Thursday. Today I'll be sharing with you guys one trade idea that has a potential profit of 400 pips. Without further ado, let's jump in. Okay, first thing first, what's the motivation behind this trade idea? Okay, you guys can find my trade idea posts on the forextradingasia.com. All right, so dollar CAD. How will the OPEC Plus respond to the renewed COVID fear? So today, okay, the OPEC Plus will actually be carrying out a meeting, okay, to decide on what the production hike, okay, oil production quota will be for January 2022. Okay, so since July this year, okay, the OPEC Plus has actually come to an agreement of increasing production hike by 400,000 barrels per day on a monthly basis, okay, until the unprecedented 1.5 million barrels cut has been completely reversed. Okay, so last year when COVID was declared a global pandemic, okay, the OPEC Plus actually cut down the oil production by 1.5 million barrels per day. All right, and ever since then they've been trying to recover this whole production cut. All right, and then in July they decided to just stick with a 400 barrels per day production hike, okay, on a monthly basis. Meaning, starting from August, okay, there was a hike by 400,000 barrels per day. And then in September, there's another 400,000 barrels per day of oil production hike being added to the previous 400,000, okay, so on and so forth. And then as time passes, probably like by next April or so, okay, April 22 or 2022, sorry, okay, by April 2022, we pretty much will be, they'll pretty much cover the whole, what do you call it, oil, 1.5 million barrels of oil cut that has been carried out. All right. So, yep, today they will be meeting. And you see, prior to this whole discovery of Omicron variant, okay, this whole new COVID variant, all right, the market was actually expecting them to do a 400,000, right? Pretty much no change until the end of the hike, okay? However, with the Omicron variant coming in now, how will the OPEC Plus actually respond to it, okay? It will actually have an impact on oil prices for sure, and also the Canadian dollar, okay? So suppose they were to, keep this whole monthly production hike of 400,000 barrels per day unchanged, okay, for the month of January 2022, then we may actually be seeing a decline in oil prices, okay? Why is that the case? Look, with this whole Omicron coming in, okay, as of now, yes, no doubt that we have not we are not at the point where we have a clear understanding of how the Omicron variant works, okay? Experts, the virologists and things like that, the experts are actually saying that this Omicron variant may actually be more contagious than the Delta variant, all right? And at the same time, they're trying to find out how deadly it is as compared to the Delta variant, all right? So at the moment, I would say it is fair that we do not rule out the possibility of another wave of COVID lockdown, okay? So in a scenario whereby a new wave of COVID lockdown were to be imposed in across the globe, all right, across the world, then you will see the oil demand decline, right? I mean, planes will stop flying, cars will probably, stop moving for most of the cars, all right, most of the cars. So, with this whole stopping of transports and things like that, we will actually be seeing a decline in the demand for oil, okay? And with the decline in demand in oil, if the OPEC Plus were to continue production hike of 400,000 barrels per day, then, with this whole, with supply going up and demand going down, okay, there will be oversupply of oil, okay, and hence oil prices will likely drop, okay. And with a drop in oil prices, all right, we know that there's a positive correlation between oil price and the Canadian dollar. So the drop of oil prices will definitely lead to a weakening of the Canadian dollar. Okay, so that is if they were to hold it unchanged or even hike at a higher rate, maybe like 500 or 600,000 barrels per day. Although it is unlikely they're going to do that, okay? Because right now it's probably going to be either holding production hike unchanged at 400,000 barrels per day, or reducing it down to something lower. Okay, maybe 350, maybe 300 or 200 or something like that. Okay, so if they were to actually cut down the production hike by, I don't know, by any amount, all right, that may actually be good for oil price. Okay, that may actually boost oil prices up and eventually will have a positive impact on the Canadian dollar. Okay, so that is what happens if they actually decides to bring down the 400,000 barrels per day hike to a lower figure. All right, so that's one thing. Okay, pay attention to what they decide on, the figure that they decide on for the month of January 2022. Okay, the second thing to pay attention to is what is the near-term outlook of oil market. Okay, with this whole Omicron virus variant coming in. Okay, we want to know how the OPEC Plus is feeling. Is feeling in terms of the oil market as a whole. Okay, now that there is this new variable coming in. Okay, this random variable, this Omicron variant coming in. Okay, so yeah, overall, this OPEC meeting, I would say, is something that many of the, or I would say most of the market participants will be paying attention, will be paying close attention to, okay, especially the oil traders, all right? If you're trading CAD, for sure it's going to move the Canadian dollar as well, okay? Now, apart from the OPEC Plus meeting, okay, not sure how many of you actually remember the 2015 Iranian nuclear talk, okay? So I think it has just reconvened just, I think, 1 or 2 days ago, okay? So there is bound to be volatility, when it coming out from this whole talk between the US and Iran, okay? So at the moment, the US is still having this sanction on Iran, hence limiting their capacity, their oil producing capacity, okay? So they are not allowed to produce as much as they can actually produce, all right? So if the talk goes on well and eventually lead to a partial lifting or even a complete lifting of the US sanction of Iran, then, what this means is that Iran is likely going to go, full throttle, all right? It's going to open all their oil taps and start producing oil, to as much as whatever limit they have been given by the OPEC Plus, all right? And with this lifting of a sanction, we can actually expect oil supply to increase, okay? Hence, I'm not sure how the OPEC Plus is going to make arrangements for Iran and things like that, okay? But it's probably going to be for like the February meeting, or for the February quota or something, okay? We will probably hear much about this in during the January's meeting, January 2022's OPEC Plus meeting, okay? In a scenario whereby the US lifts this whole sanction of Iran, okay? So no doubt any progress being made in this talk between the US and Iran will definitely have an impact on oil prices, and once again have an impact on Canadian dollar, okay? So if we were to move on to the chart, all right, and just take a look at this, we can see that, let me just zoom out one more, okay? So this is based on a daily chart, right? Daily chart. Where is 2021? Let me just place one line here, marking 2021. Okay, so, no, here. So, as you can see, okay, as indicated by this yellow line here, this is the start of 2021, right? Now, since the start of 2021, okay, dollar CAD has been trying to breach above 1.28 handle, all right? But definitely, obviously, from a chart to no avail, right? Because, let me just zoom in one more. So you can see from the start of 2021, okay, like towards the end of January, and the beginning of February, okay, we are seeing some tests to break above, but then, we just it just failed, and then it just come back down, okay? And then it just went down further, lower, lower, lower. And then in recent months, in July, August, and September, it actually tested, but to no avail again, all right? And then in November, okay, last month, okay, just last month, well, end of last month, okay, maybe like a couple of days ago, it actually moved back up to the 1.28 handle, okay, and it's starting to test, all right? So at the moment, what are the catalysts that can actually cause the 1.28 level to be breached by dollar CAD? Okay, definitely the first thing is OPEC Plus meeting. Okay, if they were to, I don't know, if they were to send out a negative tone or pessimistic tone from the regarding the oil market, okay, then we may actually be seeing a weakening in oil prices as well, okay, and holding its oil production hike unchanged at 400,000 barrels per day for January 2022 may also cause a downward pressure on oil prices, all right. And of course, the US and Iran nuclear talk, all right, that can be one potential catalyst as well. Now, tomorrow is actually the first Friday of the month, okay, and I believe many of you will know that the first Friday of most of the time, right? Most of the time, the first Friday of the month is actually the non-farm payroll month, okay, the US jobs report, as well as again, most of the time, the Canadian jobs report. Okay, so with two jobs report coming in, okay, one from the US, one from Canada, okay, we may be seeing a pretty indecisive move, okay, on the dollar CAD tomorrow, unless we are seeing a very clear direction. Okay, for example, we have a clear, strong report coming in from the US and a clear, weak report coming in from Canada, okay, or vice versa. Then we will be seeing pretty much a one-directional move, okay. Otherwise, chances are there may be a bit of indecisiveness initially, okay. Of course, the OPEC Plus will probably move this dollar CAD before the non-farm payroll, okay. Unless this whole OPEC Plus meeting concludes with nothing significant, okay, then we may actually be seeing dollar CAD stuck at this 1.28 handle until the next big event, which is the jobs report release, okay. Now, nonetheless, all right, with this recent tapering from the US FOMC, okay, we are seeing quite a strong US dollar, okay, at least for the time being, all right. That's one thing. That's one thing in favor of the dollar CAD strengthening. Now, another thing that is in favor of a strengthening of dollar CAD, okay, is basically the Omicron variant, all right. It has caused uncertainty. And you guys should know that in times of uncertainty, all right, market participants usually flee to anything safe haven currencies, safe haven instruments, assets, and so on and so forth, like bonds and things like that, okay? And US dollar is actually a safe haven currency. Hence, we can actually expect the US dollar to strengthen against the other risk currencies like Euro, Pound, CAD, Aussie, and Kiwi, okay? So, well, since last Friday, when the Omicron variant was actually announced and things like that, we actually see a strong weakening in most of the risk currencies, okay? Hence, we are actually, I would say dollar CAD is actually in a good shape, okay, towards bridging above the 1.28 handle. Now, in a scenario whereby it actually breaks above, okay, there will be buying opportunities, okay? For me, all right, personally, I'm actually looking at the 1.286 level. So if we were to have this trade triggered at 1.26 level, okay, our stop loss would definitely be below this 1.28 handle, which I have this level to be at 1.274, okay, which is 120 pips below our entry, okay? So our risk in this case will be 120 pips. Now, our reward, okay, let me just zoom out, will be at the 1.326 level, okay? So 1.326 level. So this is actually some 400 pips, 400 pips, what do you call that, profit, okay? So it's actually like a 12.25. Probably like 1:3 point something risk reward ratio. Okay, which is a very good risk reward. All right. So with that, if this trade gets triggered, I will inform you guys again in our Traders Club Agrofin platform. Okay, so if you guys would like to learn more about this trading community that we have, all right, let me just show you guys the website. So head over to jintaotai.com. All right, and then you guys will be seeing this website over here. All right, scroll down. And then you see this my gift to you. Okay, now fill in your name, your email, click on the get access now button, and we will contact you shortly. Okay, this club right now we are having this 1 month free trial club. Okay, so you gain access to our exclusive private club for 1 month free. All right, and in the case whereby after 1 month you guys don't feel like you guys are not satisfied with what we have to share with you guys, all right, then you can just cancel your membership. We won't charge you anything for it, all right? Now, if you guys are interested, then you guys can carry on signing up with us, all right? So in the club, we actually share a lot of resources, trade ideas like this that I've just shared with you guys. We have trade signals as well. We have analysis. We even have coaching sessions on Mondays and live trading sessions on Wednesdays. Evenings, okay, GMT +8, all right, Singapore timing, okay? So yeah, that's all I have to share with you guys today. Head over to jintaotai.com and then I'll see you guys there. All right. In case in the scenario whereby this trade either gets triggered, I will inform you guys again in the Traders Club as well. Okay. With that, I will see you guys during the next session of the currency call. Take care for now. Bye-bye.